A pleasant morning to all of us, especially to our professor, Dr. Manuel Roman. By the way, I am Trisha Fides Al Salazar, and today I will be tackling union avoidance, management commitment, rigid recruitment, and selection process. So first, let us define union avoidance. Union avoidance refers to strategies and practices employed by employers to prevent the formation or influence of labor unions within their organization. So, what is the primary goal of this union avoidance? Its primary goal is to maintain direct control over labor relations without the involvement of a union, which typically engages in collective bargaining on behalf of employees. Rationale behind union avoidance. Employers often perceive labor unions as a threat to their autonomy and flexibility in managing the workforce. Unionization may introduce collective bargaining, which could lead to increased labor costs, stricter regulations, and reduced managerial prerogatives. Furthermore, unions may advocate for changes in workplace policies and procedures that could disrupt existing operational frameworks. Hence, many organizations prefer to remain union free to maintain control over their business operations. Methods of union avoidance. First is we have communication and engagement. Organizations often prioritize open communication and engagement with employees to address their concerns and grievances directly. By fostering a positive work environment and addressing issues promptly, management aims to minimize the appeal of union representation. Next is offering competitive benefits and compensation. Providing competitive salaries, benefits, and career advancement opportunities can enhance employee satisfaction and reduce the likelihood of seeking union representation as a means to negotiate better terms. Another is legal compliance. Employers ensure compliance with labor laws and regulations to prevent grievances that could lead to unionization efforts by adhering to fair labor practices and addressing employee concerns lawfully. Organizations mitigate the risk of labor disputes and unionization drives. Next is anti-union campaigns. Some employers resort to anti-union campaigns which involve disseminating information to employees highlighting the perceived drawbacks of unionization. These campaigns often emphasize the potential loss of flexibility, increased cost, and risk of strikes or work stoppages associated with union representation. Last is employer relations training. Training managers and supervisors in effective relations techniques can help in identifying and addressing employee concerns before they escalate into unionization efforts. This proactive approach focuses on fostering positive relationship between management and employees. Let us now proceed to management commitment. What is this management commitment? It refers to the dedication and active involvement of an organization's leadership in pursuing specific goals, values, and initiatives. This commitment is often demonstrated through consistent actions, resource allocation, policy development, and active participation in relevant activities. Significance of management commitment. First is setting the tone. Management commitment sets the tone for ethical behavior within an organization. When leaders demonstrate a strong commitment to ethical principles, employees are more likely to emulate these values in their daily activities. Another is building trust. Ethical leadership builds trust among employees, customers, shareholders, and other stakeholders. When management prioritizes transparency, fairness, and accountability, it enhances the organization's reputation and credibility. Last is mitigating risk. Ethical lapses can lead to legal, financial, and reputational risk for organizations. By prioritizing ethical practices, management reduces the likelihood of misconduct, regulatory violations, and negative consequences for the business. Recruitment. When we say recruitment, it is a process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs of an organization. That is according to Edwin B. Lippo. Recruitment forms the first stage in the process, which continues with selection and ceases with the placement of the candidates. A definition by Kepner. So, what are the purposes and importance of recruitment? First is to determine the present and future requirement of the organization in junction with its personnel planning and job analysis activities. Next is to increase the job pool of job candidates and at minimum cost. Another is it helps increase the success rate of the selection process by reducing the number visibly underqualified or job application. It also helps reduce the probability that applicants once selected will leave the organization only after a short period of time. Meet the organization's legal and social obligation regarding the composition of its workforce. Next is being identifying and preparing potential job applicants who will be appropriate candidates. It also increases the organization individual effectiveness in the short term and long term. Last is evaluate the effectiveness of various recruitment techniques and resources or sources of all types of job applicants. That ends my report. Once again, a pleasant day to all of us.